Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chapter 13, Quadratic Equations, Exercise 13k. So let's see first of all what are our main objectives. So our first objective is to, or goal, our first goal is to form a quadratic equation according to the situation in the word problem. So we are going to deal with the word problems, and first of all we will try to understand the situation, and according to that situation we will make a quadratic equation, and then we will solve the quadratic equation to find the unknown quantity. Here is an example. I think of a number k, I square it and add to k and get the answer 20. Now all these are the you can say all these are the ideas or information. I have to use all this information to make a quadratic equation. So first of all, we think about a number, it's k. Then you square it. That means it will become k squared. Then on the next step, we added them. Added them what? We added k and k squared and got the answer 20. So we can say when k squared is added to k, we are getting equal to 20. The answer means it's equal to 20. Okay, but when I look at this one, it's not in the standard form. So my next step will be to change this quadratic equation that I will got according to the situation. I have to change it into standard form. Okay, so to get it into standard form, you will move this 20 to this side. So we will move this 20 to this side. It will become, it will change into negative 20. So this will be the standard form of the quadratic equation. And now we can use the AC method to solve this quadratic equation. As you can see here, we have 1 here. We multiply 1 with the negative 20. So the pair that I need is 5 times 4, right? Because 5 times 4, the sum is giving me, the product is 20, and the sum is giving me, if I subtract it, I'm getting 1 because I have to subtract it, right? So this is how the quadratic equation is factorized. Then again you will say either k plus 5 is 0 or k minus 4 is 0. So the answer will become k equals negative 5, k equals 4. Here they didn't specify that you need the positive. Did you think about a positive number or you think about a negative number? But in some of the questions, it will be specified that I think about a positive number. Then this will be our answer. Right? And remember, whenever you will be writing the answers, you will get, in most of the questions, you will get 2 answers like this. If it is a question about, for example, the age, or if it's a question about finding the width, or about finding the length, or about finding the number of, for example, apples. So remember, in all these cases and cases like this, we cannot take the negative values, because I cannot say my age is, let's say, negative 5 years, right? Or I cannot say the width of our room is negative 5 meters. So remember, all these, you can say, dimensions, they are always taken as positive numbers. So whenever we will be talking about these dimensions, we will take the positive value from these 2 options. Clear? So let's start the questions now. Here is question number 1. The square of a number x is 16 more than 6 times the number. So let's first of all see what can we do. Square of a number x, that means we will get x squared. Is means is equal to what? 16 more 16 plus, then 6 times. 6 times means multiply 6 with what? Multiply 6 with the number. And what is the number? It's x. So you will multiply 6 with the x, and your equation is ready, right? So the equation is becoming x squared equals 16 plus 6x. And now change it into standard form. So we will get x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Right? We have to write it in the standard form. So after the x squared term, we have to write the x term, and by the end we write the constant number. Now how can we factorize it? We can factorize it using the AC method. They said form an equation and solve it. So this is the equation that we made from the information that is given in the question. This is the standard form of the equation. The equations are ready. Now we have to solve them to get the answer, the two possible values of x. Now better pause the video here, use AC method, solve it and get the two possible values of x. So here is the answer, the final answer, x equals 8 or x equals -2. And here is the factorization for the this quadratic equation, and we multiplied 1 with the -16. I wrote it over here. It's -16, and 8 times 2 is 16. This is the pair that will help me to make the factors. Clear? Now let's move to question number 2. Now what does it say? It says when 5 times a number x. Now hold this thing, 5 times a number x, it means it's 5x, right? Is subtracted from the square of the same number. Square of the same number means it will be x squared. So this 5x is subtracted from x squared. The answer is mean is equal to 14. So we have here on this side equal to 14, right? And on this side, what we are subtracting? We are subtracting 5x from x squared. Now remember, what most of the students, what mistake do they make? They write 5x minus x squared. Please remember it. They are subtracting this 5x from x squared, not x squared subtracted from 5x. Clear? So this is the main mistake the students mostly they make. So this is the equation now. Because you have to form the equation is ready, you have to change it into standard form, factorize it and get the values of x. Now better pause the video here, solve it on your own and get the possible values of x. So here is the final answer, students. When I change it into standard form and I use the AC method, here it was 1, so 1 times -14 is -14. 7 times 2 is 14. So this product, this is the factor of the pair of the factors that is giving me 14, and when I subtract it, it is giving me 5. So all the next steps are exactly the same like we did in question number 1 and we did in the example. So let's start the new question. It says Sally is X years old and her sister Anne is 4 years younger. So remember, when it's a case of younger, we subtract this 4 from Sally's age. We will subtract this 4 from Sally's age. If it will be a case of older, then we will add this number to the variable, right? So we have two numbers now. The first one is X. This is Sally's age, so we can say how old is Sally? Sally's age is X years, right? And they are saying how much is her sister? So we can say Anne's age is X minus 4 because she is 4 years younger. Now what next? If the product of their ages, so this is the main, you can say, condition that will help us to make the equation. So product of their ages is 140. So is means is equal to, right? So I will multiply both these. So I will multiply X with X minus 4. I will multiply both the ages and it will give me 140. Now I have to change it into standard form. And how do we change it into standard form? First of all, we remove the bracket and we want 0 on this side. So we will get X squared minus 4x, and when this 140 will be we will bring it to this side, it will change into negative 140 equals 0. Now better pause the video here, factorize it, and then I will explain you the last step how to get the ages, because they said solve it and find Anne's age. We want this girl's age, not Sally's age. We want to find Anne's age. So better pause the video, solve this equation. So we got the factors. It says X minus 14 and X plus 10 equals 0. And here either X minus 14 is 0, it is giving us X equals 14. Now I took only this value X equals 14, not X equals negative 10. Why? Because the age, it cannot be in negative, right? So we can say Sally's age is X because in the beginning we decided that Sally's age is represented with X. So Sally's age is how much? It's 14 years. We got the age of Sally. Now how can we find the age of Anne? Because actually our question, it says find Anne's age. So how can we find Anne's age? Anne's age is 4 years less. x minus 4. That means if you replace x minus 4 by the numbers x is 14 and subtract from it 4, so how much you are getting? You will get 10 years. So how old is n? N is 10 years old. Let's solve some more questions. Here this question, it says a rectangle is x centimeters wide. So sometimes it's easy for us if we make a picture for us to just to understand the question. It says x centimeters wide. It means the smaller side of the rectangle is x centimeters and is 3 centimeters longer than it is wide. Just one second. Okay, now how long is it? 3 centimeters longer. It means if you go to the longer side, how much it is? 3 centimeters more than the width. So it will be x plus 3. Do you understand? That the width, the smaller side of the rectangle is x centimeters. When you go to the longer side, the length of it is 3 centimeters more than its wide. Then it is wide, or you can say than its width. Right? So it will become x plus 3. Now if the area is 28 centimeters, how do we get the area? We multiply the length with the width, or you can say width with the length, and it becomes equal to the area. Right? This is the formula for the area. So let's multiply the length and the width and write. So what is the length and the width? If you will multiply both of these. So x times x plus 3. If I multiply these two, it will give me the area. And how much is the area? It's 28 squared centimeters. And now better pause the video because our equation is ready. They said first form the equation and then solve it to find the dimensions. Dimensions means how much is the length and how much is the width. Better pause the video here and complete this question on your own. So clearly you can see we were getting two values of x. One was negative, one was positive. As I already told you that whenever we are dealing with the lengths, measurements, dimensions, so we have to take the positive values of x. So x will be 4. This will, okay, this x is giving us the width. So it's 4 centimeters the width. If I want to get the dimension, or you can say I want to get the length of of this rectangle, that is x plus 3. So 4 plus 3 will give us 7 centimeters, the length of this rectangle. So here's another question. It says Peter had x marbles. The number of marbles Fred had was 6 fewer than the square of the number Peter had. Together they had 66 marbles. How many marbles did Fred have? Now better pause the video here because I explained you a lot of questions. Better pause the video here, solve this question on your own, and then play the video to check. First make the equation, then play the video to check is your equation right or wrong. So here is the standard form of this equation. How did I get it? Peter, he has x marbles, right? How much Fred is having? So this is the line that is helping us to know how much Fred is having. Fred is having 6 fewer. It means that you have to subtract 6 from what? Square of the number Peter had. So Peter had x, and what do we have to make it 6 less? We have to subtract 6 from it. He had x squared and 6 less than the squared of Peter had. So if you think about Fred, he has 6 less than square of the x. And how we will make the final equation? It says together. So this is another keyword. Together they had 66 marbles. It means if I take Fred's marbles, I add them into Peter's marble, together they are giving me 66. Now you will move this 66 to this side to change it into standard form. Now this is the standard form, right? Okay, now get the value of x. When you will get the value of x, factorize it, find the possible values of x. You will take only the positive one, put it over here to know how many marbles Fred was having. Clear? Now pause the video here, solve it. So here is the answer. If you solve it, you are getting two possible values of x. We have to take the positive one. This is the number of marbles Peter had. Now how can we find Fred's marbles? it says x squared minus 6, because this was the number that was for Fred, right? So again you will replace x by 8, it will become 8 squared, that is 64, subtract 6 from 64, and finally you will get that Fred has had 58 marbles. Last question from this exercise, it says Catherine is X years old. If her mother's age is 2 years more than square of Catherine's age. So clearly this is the age of Catherine, okay, and the sum of their ages is 44. So we can say x plus, because we have to sum or we have to add their ages. So this is the age of Catherine. How can we get the age of her mother? It's 2 years more. 2 years more means 2 plus square of Catherine's age. So what is the square of Catherine's age? It's 2 plus x. So you have to add this age, this one, into this age, right? So we will write over here plus 2 plus x squared. This is the age of our mother, right? So we have to add both of them, and the sum will give us 44. Again we have to change it into standard form. So let's write it, x squared plus x plus 2 minus 44 equals 0. And these two are like terms, they can be solved together. So x squared plus x minus 42 equals 0. Now better pause the video, because in the end they are saying form an equation in x and solve it to find the ages of both Catherine and her mother. Now better pause the video here and get the value of x. That value of x will give you Catherine's age, and then according to this situation, according to this you can say condition, find her mother's age. So here is the final answer. Catherine's age x is 6 years old. We are not going to take this negative number. And then to find the mother's age, it's 2 plus x squared. So 2 plus x squared means 6 squared, that is 36. So 36 plus 2 will be 38. So that's all for this video, for this word problem exercise. Hope you understand it.